Welcome. Welcome to the aftermarket report with Jim in Vegas. How you doing, Vegas?
Oh, we're doing great, thanks. How are you?
Very good.
All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, I'll tell you.
You tell me.
Uh, the first one I definitely want to talk about is that there was news this morning about Coca-Cola. And the news on that really was that they were looking to consider taking control of a company called NBEV, which is New Age Beverage, and the ticker is NBEV. And there's just a rumor. And as we noticed today in the markets, this stock had a run towards power hour today. So if you want to look at that chart, Jim,
Yep.
and give me your thoughts or give our listeners the thoughts on, where you might see this particular ticker go.
Well, it hit all of our expectations today. We run up to that 235 resistance that we call. Well, first, we called them little by little. 178, 195. Then it ran up to 215. And then we called that final resistance right around 235. And then we had a little bitty pullback to that around that 215 area, and it bounced right back up right into close, right, and run up into the 200 SMA right there, close at 229. So I think this will settle back a little bit, maybe pull back to about that two. Well, it might break out a little bit tomorrow morning because of momentum. We might see the 252 spot, but we have a couple other spots we could hit 252, 275, but definitely the momentum's there. And
Well, definitely momentum's there. Yep.
yeah, and that goes along with that other stock that had rumors too about Coke, and that was ACBFF, right?
Right. So ACBFF, that ticker there is currently trading on the OTC market, and that one is going to get uplisted to the U.S. market. I just don't know yet which one, if it's going to be NYSE or NASDAQ, but it is in process of getting uplisted. So I know that with pot getting hotter as we approach October, with the legalization in Canada, because this company's located in Vancouver, there are a lot of people that can't really afford some other stocks like Canopy Growth, CGC. So now they're looking at buying this one, ACBFF. So that might be another one. There's the talks that Coca-Cola's in discussions to have a partnership with them to help them manufacture cannabis-infused beverages. And this is as per what I read in Bloomberg reports. So if you can look at that chart, Jim, that would be great.
Oh yeah, this one here is. It had a great run at the beginning of the year. It started out right like around 211 and bounced up within 3 months to 1230 high, and that's probably about the time when legislation was going to legalize the cannabis in Canada. So it's consolidated and pulled back, and then today we had the pretty nice little show. It bounced off the 50 SMA, which was on a yearly daily chart of yesterday of 589, and then today we closed at 767. So we definitely hit my last which I had drawn up as a resistance at 772. So both of these stocks ran up pretty good today. So both of them will probably react the same way tomorrow. They might bounce up a little bit and then consolidate and pull back and consolidate a little bit more and then bounce back up. So I'm going to put a final resistance right up here, right around where it had a high today of right around $8. So we'll see
Uh,
how ABCFF turns out tomorrow. But everything that's going up north of us in Canada is encouraging the local pot stocks that we also have here in America.
right.
So I think that's good too.
Well, that's good. Well, we'll see. So moving right along to our other one that we looked at today that we were looking to trade was NetList, NLST. So we know that that stock ran last week to $1.10, and and that stock formerly was like 19 cents, and there was rumors about settlement and lawsuits, and then unfortunately there was some news on the stock that had a big pullback, so that did not turn out well for people that bought it in the 90s plus, because they were anticipating the move as well to over the 110. That didn't happen. So there are a lot of actual people holding, I think, bags on this one. And right now, today, it did trade nicely. And there's been some really good volume. The accumulation line's running. And I think that tomorrow we should definitely be seeing some sort of continuation here on the stock. Volume was just really, really strong at 56.23 million and still running after hours as we speak.
Yep. Had 39, just hit 53, 51 right now. Pulled back just a little bit. But I'm with her on this one. I really enjoyed flipping this the other day when I was playing around with this and that run that we had back on last week. And then that drama came, and it just really disappointed a lot of people, and it tried to bounce back up and wasn't able to do it. And then we had 3 solid days of consolidation down here in that 40-cent area. And then it dipped all the way down yesterday to 30 cents. So maybe that was a little scare tactic for people to start, maybe for it to bounce up. And today was real strong momentum. It broke out of the gate, hit a high there of around 50, and then consolidated most of the day, right around 45, 48. And then here we are at close right now after hours at 54 cents. This is one you have to be a little careful with, but it also has, down the road, will have money no matter how you look at it. So I still think it's just in recovery mode right now. We just have to be patient and not get too caught up in it.
Yep. Don't
So
let your emotions get the best of you.
yeah, because a lot of people did, and a lot of people lost money by selling out of it. And if they
Either
probably
they
would have
lost
held,
money,
it's a
still in
hard one.
losses.
I mean, you're down, as much as this one went down, there's not much you can do but just hold it and wait.
That's
Not
right.
take if you didn't set your stops.
No.
Yeah.
And some people haven't. So, they're holding right now.
Yep.
So let's just see tomorrow where this can go. But there's a lot of activity still on it after hours. So, again, not that long ago, this was, 19-cent stock or down to 16 cents, like less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So there's still value here on this particular ticker. Okay, so on to Twitter, social media platform. Twitter had some drama there, Jim,
Oh
and
yeah.
let's turn that over to you to talk about, because Twitter is one of those ones that you really follow and watch and chart all the time. So tell
Yeah.
me about Twitter.
I like Twitter. I use Twitter every day, and if it's something that I like to play around with it. So Twitter, I guess in the media right now, all the concerns about soaring costs have have hit judgment of a few investors on this thing. So it's pulled back, and today I think it pulled back real well. We had a pullback last week, and then it kind of bounced up off that pullback, a couple bucks, and then dipped back down. So we went from a high last Friday at 30.77 to a low today at 28.43. I have a low support on Twitter right now at 27.08. So if we ever hit that 27.08, I'll probably start my entries. But today I was mentioning on Stock Twits that maybe we might have an entry opportunity right here at this low 28.73 spot. And it did bounce up to 29.25 and then pulled back down again to support. So I'm just keeping I watch Twitter every day. I have for ever since it's been out an IPO, and I asked Jack to shave his beard, and I think he did for me once. But but that's Twitter for you. And there's your chart.
That's Twitter.
Yep. It, so next, let's talk about FRAN.
Yeah, so FRAN. So I do like FRAN, actually. Um, that had a nice little run today. And we've been swing trading this actually since last week. But high of day was 441 and didn't have a continuation. Then it pulled back. And I know that people bought it again around 425. I think 425 is actually a good support. Interestingly, there was a nice buy after hours for 83,581 shares at the 425 price. And there's also been insider buying. So the CEO has been buying the stock as well. And so quite pleased with what is in store for this stock. And I kind of see that there's opportunity here on this particular ticker, Francesca Holdings, to have a move. There's also, a gap fill here. Pretty big gap fill, right, Jim? What do you
Yeah.
see there?
What caused that to drop like that? Is it
Well, we'd have to go back and take a
earnings
look.
report? Yeah, it was
But
earnings.
I think the earnings is what killed them here.
It really
Um,
wasn't that bad. I mean, 105 million over 110. So yeah,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
453. Okay,
So we'll
interesting.
take a, so that one's interesting. So Francesca Holdings, I do like when I see, to me, it kind of looks like the calm after the storm, range contraction going on, and there's be some expansion coming, and potential some continuation here. So again, this is just our personal thoughts. We're not licensed and we're not advising anyone to buy any stocks. We're just talking about the ones that we're in or the ones that interest us. And FRAN does interest me. I do have a position in FRAN and would like to see where this will go. And I like the insider buys, and I also love the buying at the end of the day at 4 o'clock. So I think I will see more coming out of FRAN.
Yeah,
I actually would love to see next. There's support at 492, and then another support at 560. So I kind of want to see the 492 first, and if that breaks, probably go into the fives. And then eventually I'd love to see this go to 616, which would be the 200-day, and it would be a totally new ball game. But I'd love to see down the road in the coming sessions this gap fill actually fill up. So excited about that one,
yeah.
and
It
keep it for a little while.
it looked like it had a support, a yearly support at one time of around 454, 455, and then it ran up from that low support all the way up to 848, and then pulled back, and then the last 5 days ago it had that big drop off earnings, which was probably oversold in my book. So we bounced past that drop today with that high of around 440, and we almost filled the gap there at 455. So once we start touching that gap at 455, we ought to go ahead and just ease on up. I think we'll get back up there to around that level of 585 eventually. And then you got more room to go on up too. And this
Well,
is, I mean, that's a lot of money, 400 and some million. They still make a lot of money.
oh yeah, they still make very good money. So, maybe just people were just very disappointed with
Yeah.
the performance and then just got fed up and said, you know what, I'm not holding this anymore, and they dumped the shares or closed it for a loss. And I mean, sometimes people hold stocks through earnings, and they didn't get what they wanted and they just closed the trade. So it is what it is. On to SFIX. That one, Stitch Fix. Love that company. Love the CEO. Love the whole thing. Obviously, love the whole story, which I did mention last week. But I do love the fact that it went to a high today, 51.77. Had over 3 million shares traded. Not as many shares as I thought for the volume today, but very pleased with where this has headed. This stock's done so well since July. We're talking like almost over 100% almost since July, which is significant on a stock this price. So it's totally just expanding and doing really well.
Yeah, you called this last week. We had a high at that time of 46.20.
Right.
And 3 days later now it's up here at 51.19. We had a high
We
of
did.
51.77. So, and this is, I don't know what else to say. It was just a beautiful call there, Vegas.
Yeah, we said, I think we're mentioning too, or when we're talking about the stock, that, we definitely see the 50s coming in probably soon. And if it's not going to be this, the week that we were talking about it last week, it would be the following week. And then here we are today, and it was just so nice to see the stock printing the 50s. So it's in a new league for now.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if this can hold up. But this just keeps making new 52-week highs every single week. So we'll see what happens.
So, in a nutshell, give me a rundown of what you thought about this past week. The one we had
On Stitch
previous,
Fix?
just last week, compared to going into this week.
On what? Stitch Fix, though?
Just the market itself. How you feel about it this week? Are you there? Uh-oh. Looks like we lost her. Well, we'll go ahead and close it up here, I guess. Appreciate everybody listening to our aftermarket report.
Hello, Jim. I lost you there.
Oh, you did lose us. I was just getting ready to close
I did.
down.
I'm like, what happened? So sorry.
So what do you think?
Can you ask me your question?
Yeah, from last
I
week
wasn't sure I understood what you're asking me.
from last week to this week, how do you think this week will turn out?
Well, with the markets in general?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I still think it's an actual great opportunity to buy the dips with a lot of these companies. I mean, like the FANG stocks, a lot of them have pulled back, and some really great dip buys. So it's a great opportunity to actually shop for some stocks that you normally, let's say, wouldn't have bought or didn't buy because they were, at too many highs.
Mm-hmm.
We're still waiting to hear what's happening with these tariffs. So hopefully we'll get an update on that as soon as, the media knows. We'll see how it affects the market. But, some people right now are just not even really trading as much. They're just waiting to see what's going to happen. The China stocks right now are, iffy because people are not sure what's going to happen and how that will affect the tariffs. So we have to wait and see.
Yeah,
I guess like everyone else.
I felt a little patient today, and I think I like to let the market dictate how I trade. So today was kind of a
I mean,
laid
you know
back
what? I
day.
normally would have, let's say, traded a lot more things today, and I actually didn't. I
Yeah.
was just pacing myself, waiting for trades to come our way. And, if it didn't present itself, it didn't present itself. It was definitely, let's say, slow for me from what I typically do.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, I didn't mind it. I have a lot of actually swing trades that are active that are doing well now this week, and that started moving today. So I'm very happy with how the day went overall. So not concerned and not disappointed either. So
Okay.
waiting around.
Well, we'll wrap it up.
All right.
Mrs.
And I
Go
think
ahead.
that's it. No, just wanted to mention for everyone else to also keep an eye on GOGO. There was a buy at the end of the day at 4 o'clock, over 1 million shares bought at 4 o'clock. So that is another one to watch and potentially could go. Definitely keep it on your watch list because when there's a order that goes through on the market at that many shares, Something's up or something's cooking and somebody wants it. It's obviously 1 million shares plus is obviously got to be some sort of institution buying it.
Yep.
So keep an eye on it, watch it, and to keep and see if you like to trade it for your own personal trades throughout the week. And that's it.
Speaking of GOGO, time to go.
Yes, it's time to go. Well, thanks everyone. Sorry we've had some technical issues today. Hopefully we'll be okay tomorrow, and we hope everyone has a phenomenal night. And we'll definitely talk to you again. This is the Vegas and Jim market update wrap up after hours report. Have a good night, everyone.
Don't forget to hit your subscribe button and your like button, and also I also have my Twitter and Stock Twits link down below, so follow me there, and wish you all a great week. Watch Stock Watch.